Just to Kill's felt very strong. It's honestly like Just to Kill is like I think going to be just stock in this archetype, but the archetype itself, mono red midrange, mono red Obosh, whatever, Oboshless Obosh, is kind of struggling right now because of like Belcher is the biggest problem, but also like Hammer Time and Rhinos are poor matchups too, and so there are a lot of decks that are pretty naturally good against this deck, and I'm just trying to see how much you can compensate. So we're also playing Needle in the sideboard. Is Bauble that good in this deck without Luris? Yeah, we're a Dragon Rage's Channeler Unholy Heat deck. Just like Blue-Red Murktide plays Bauble, this deck plays Bauble too. It's, you know, you also, like, in that deck, you lose Luris for Murktide Regent, but it is definitely worth it. Like, Bauble, like, the only reason we weren't playing it is because of Obosh. But just, like, actually getting to play, like, a fully powered up Unholy Heat and a fully powered up Dragon Rage's Channeler, in addition to the sideboard cards, it feels worth it to lose Obosh to me. Opponents mulled to 6, taking their time. Chancellor of the Tangle revealed. Not good for us. We played against this deck earlier today. Blood Moon can get them. I guess I'm just assuming that they're creativity. Turn Timber Symbiosis. Okay. Are we about to die on turn 1? Yeah, the only 2-drop like I'd really want to play is Flame Tongue Yearling. I decided against it, but you'd want to play it in some metagames, I think. Oh, they're just passing? Oh no, I was supposed to... Okay, well, I guess I just have to do this. If I can hit 2 types, I kill the Grisselbrand. And I missed on the first type. I'm surprised they didn't try to kill me on turn 1. It shouldn't be like that hard with the Mox Ambers, assuming that's their deck list, I guess. We're not 100% sure. I'm just gonna concede. What am I doing here? We're dead. Can't beat the Grisselbrand. What are we doing? What are we even doing here anymore? Okay, and we don't have... I guess the Needles are actually pretty good against them. Needle's actually a real sideboard card in this matchup. And then... Do you know a deck list for this? I mean, I know how the deck is built. You go off with Grisselbrand, Mox Amber, then you Pinhead Prism into the ability to Laboratory Maniac, just like the old deck. It's nothing too crazy. But I don't know the exact 75. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep in like all the Furies and then try to Needle Grisselbrand and just be able to kill the 7/7 flyer. Hopefully. And then Chalice isn't that good, but like you can Chalice on to after like hitting with Ragavan twice or something on the play. Stormbreath Dragon just for Solitude. I mean, there are a ton of Solitude decks. Yeah, and they're a big part of the metagame. How does Chandra just to kill blink? Chandra's been really good. She doesn't necessarily shine against Neobrand though. I mean, I feel like I just want a hand that has a Needle or a Ragavan. Is it Steam Vents just for EE? EE and Ragavan. And then I want to do Steam Vents because, like, Teferi Time Raveler is a... I could maybe keep this on my mulligan. Teferi Time Raveler is a pretty popular card. I'll just keep the turn 2 Blood Moon. Yeah, Teferi Time Raveler is a popular card, and Jace is, like, seeing some play. And just in general, there's, like, a lot of blue decks in the format, and they are all tend to be kind of color intensive, so I think Steam Vents is the right color. And you're basically never going to EE on 3 either. It's just you're almost never going to engineer explosives on 3 in this deck. Reason, wow. Name of my MTGO track overlay. I don't really know. I just kind of someone told me to do it. Or gave me the link to this. I don't know what it's called. I know it's run by MTGO bot, but I don't know how to Google it. Notably, they have to reason and think about Ragavan here hitting them. Dude, my opponent's playing Otherworldly Gaze. Oh, they also we Multifor, sorry. We have a really good Multifor though. I guess we should have put back the Blood Moon and not the Chandra. Basic Island. You love to see it. That's a good hit. Turn Timber Symbiosis. Not a land we can play here. Not too bad. Kind of does play into Force of Vigor a little bit if we play it, but imagine playing around things when you play against Neobrand. Can't relate. Gristlebrand was still gonna be like really hard to beat if they play it though. I didn't think this was going to be something I did today. But I'll take it. 6/6. Allosaurus Rider. Didn't think this was going to be something we did today. This actually means I'm like not cold to Gristlebrand, I think. Join me, Allosaurus Rider. Together we can defeat Gristlebrand. Attack with just the Allosaurus for the win. Okay, I wasn't tasked with that impossible decision. Yeah, Modern's kind of all over the place. Not as cool as Viling and Emrakul. It's close. How do you find a list for that deck? I mean, I've seen it before a few times. It's not like that uncommon. You'll have to, you know, do some digging. I can't mulligan this. My opponent kept 7. They did think about it for a second. They didn't think about it that long. let's be honest. Okay, I'm gonna Ragavan here. I don't think I should play the Needle. Okay, maybe there's a chance, huh? I feel like they probably have an answer to the Blood Moon. I don't know. Maybe not. They might have Manamorphose, of course, and not even care. Moon versus Belcher. We're playing against Neobrand, actually. Sounded sarcastic when I said that for some reason. This is Neobrand. I don't know how to get rid of the sarcasm in my voice sometimes. Mox Amber so they don't have to go to discard. Oh, Neobrand, I have not missed you. Okay, I'm kind of into this. They're drawing a Manamorphose, which is kind of scary. I mean, I just get a Fury, right? Oh, I cited out, oh, no, wait, hold on. It's just +1. It's not like Eldritch Evolution. I should have known that. Okay, we don't have a Seasoned Pyromancer anymore. I could have turned the Elemental into... a Channeler, though. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was like, evolution when you get anything less. I should have known better though. I've cast the card plenty of times. But next turn, if my opponent plays Gristlebrand, I do get to go Fury. Just like Richard Garfield intended. And they can't draw any cards because we have Needle. Yeah, Evolution is +2, but Evolution also lets you get any mana value less than the amount you search for. We could Bauble them before attack and not attack with Ragavan if we saw Neoform. I mean, if we saw Neoform, we're still attacking, I think. It's a combo piece, and we gotta get him dead. Any chance we see a Wilderness Hullbreaker deck in the next few days? The more I think about it, the less I like it. Like, obviously, it would be fun, and that's not like, that's the reason to do it, is that it would be fun. But the reality is that any 7-drop is going to look good when you cast it, and this one is a good 7-drop, but it's still a 7-mana spell. It's not better than Nexus of Fate, I think, and it's just not something I'm that interested in. Alright, so they gain 15 with Nourishing Shoal. That's their first play of the turn. And then they pass. Let's go! Okay, I'm gonna hold this to deal with Gristlebrand. And now I've masterfully set up to be able to... Let's go! Can't believe it. Twice. I can't believe we're doing this twice. I guess this is just how the matchup goes. Steam, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find me in Vegas. I'm not. I feel like I kind of stand out in the crowd a little bit. It might be the hats that have feathers that I wear. Could be anything, really. Alright, don't Aspire. I want to keep my answer for Gristlebrand in hand. Yeah, it would be awesome to hit a Gristlebrand, although we are 1 Black Source short right now. I guess we can cast a Fury now. I guess I'll Dissenter's Deliverance their Amber. So this doesn't turn 1 anymore. You can turn more. You can turn 1. You turn 1 Gristlebrand with the Chancellor and a green source, and your Neoform Allosaurus Rider, and then you draw your deck with Gristlebrand, Nourishing Shoal. Then you go Mox Amber, Pintide Prism for 1, and then I think you go Mox Amber 3 and 4 to Pintide Prism X equals 2. And then you tap the extra Amber and play Laboratory Maniac and then kill them. I should have played the land for the extra damage. Not super used to Allosaurus Rider in the deck. It's a bit confusing, I know. So they gain 15, and then they go down to 4. So it shouldn't be that relevant to miss the damage. Did you not get bored playing decks? I mean, people like what they like, right? Some people like decks like my opponents. That's the nice thing about Magic, is everybody's got there's a different part of the game that appeals to everybody. No shame. They made red with Manamorphose. Not sure if that was intentional. On the play against Luristic, I think I'll keep this. Yeah, Athena's very cute. Now she's in her dog bed. Luris, Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, dude, I haven't been away from Athena for more than like 6 hours in the last 2 years. Yeah, I don't think there's a period of time where I've been away from Athena for more than 6 hours since COVID started. It's gonna be a big adjustment for Vegas. My sister's watching her though, so it should be fine. So Gen Saga. Gonna block this, I guess. Love to draw a Blood Moon. I guess I'm gonna... Maybe I shouldn't then here. It's kind of close. But I'm gonna discard the E2 lands. Adjustment for her. Me for both of us. Honestly, more so for me. Athena's like just kind of happy all the time. She'll miss us, but when my sister's here, my brother's probably gonna watch her some too. It's just gonna be like, she's really not gonna miss us that much, I think. I guess they're gonna needle my Chandra. Think about ad nauseam in the current metagame. It's not that good. A lot of Teferis right now. Why Steam Vince over the basic land choice? I really don't want to talk it to death, but I want a fetchable off-color land because I'm playing all these explosives. And I want to be able to engineer explosives, Sanctifier, and Vec post-board. And I think blue is the best color to choose with the prevalence of like Steam Vince, Memory Deluge, Jace the Mind Sculptor, those kind of cards. So they're not making a token, and they didn't get Needle. So they probably have Heat for Chandra. So, you know, with those factors combined... Oh, they're just going to make a token with the other Saga. And then Heat the Chandra. Attack and then Heat. I guess I'm going to... Oh, they attacked me? Okay, they definitely have Heat. Yeah, I was running the MDFCs before, but... Sorry, but you can't play the MDFCs in this version because you actually need to play... this huge density of fetch lands because now this version is playing. Oh, come on. Oh, wait. Oh, I can't play it off to Chandra. Do I want... I think Blood Moon just doesn't do anything here. Yeah, you need to play... You need to play all these fetch lands for Unholy Heat and Channeler is why I'm playing the shock land and this split this time. I can keep this, I think. I can keep that. Yeah, sorry, there's a lot going on. Yeah, it is definitely a headache just how like complicated the land decisions are here. It's kind of a fun headache, but it's definitely a headache. So if they get Needle for my Chandra, then I get to get Blast Zone. And I imagine they get Needle. They might just not be main decking Needle. I think it's silly to not main deck Needle right now. Needle is like just so important right now with Belcher being popular. Okay, I was hoping that was gonna be a red 1-drop. Not that lucky, I guess. So they're gonna, if they spellbomb me, it's not great here. I think I'm gonna attack with just Channeler. Maybe I should have attacked with Spyro too, because then if they block, I get to Blast Zone. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and Blast Zone now, so they don't get to draw a card. But it is a problem that they get to take me off Delirium. But I get to shrink both constructs too. If I consider playing one of Tarfire for Delirium decks, it just isn't good. It's like Channeler turns on Delirium for herself really quickly. Tarfire barely helps in that regard, and Unholy Heat, like you're also playing Tarfire over Unholy Heat, right? You don't like usually want 9 shocks in your deck. Just too much. Yeah, they could have spellbombed post attacks to kill the DRC, but there wasn't much. We couldn't do anything about it. I guess I mean maybe I should have waited because I had kills my own DRC too. I feel like we didn't have too many good decisions in that spot. Could have maybe graveyarded the Blast Zone. That could have been good. Okay, so I definitely want all 3 Blood Moons on the play. Tarmogoyf is a really scary card in this matchup, so I feel like I want these relics. And then I feel like I don't usually like Fury so much against Gen Saga. I probably want 1 copy. And I can cut, you know, a Bauble because I bring in all these relics. That's probably fine. And on the draw, I'm probably not playing the full 4 Blood Moon either. Did Athena join me when we went camping a few months? Not that time, no. So I guess that we were apart for like 36 hours then. Okay, let's keep this. As Dress to Kill is pretty good. I've been liking this deck. It doesn't feel super well positioned though. It's kind of the problem, but it feels powerful. For Spikefield Hazard. Yeah, Hazard's definitely a good option. Or Valakut Awakening too, of course. Bauble's me, so they're going to know this card that we draw, which is a Relic of Progenitus. Which I'll just go ahead and play out. So we're pretty insulated to get... Oh, come on. I didn't mean to click on the relic. I thought I was playing the second one. Not the end of the world. It's just been embarrassing. Do all these misclicks today. Alright, Urza Saga, or Blood Moon off the top. Yeah, it just seems like having Blood Moon is so important to beat these Saga decks. And you just don't always have it. Never mind, I guess you always have it. I guess you just always have it, huh? So I'm going to heat them here. They had an option to try to get Delirium if they had like a bolt. I guess it seemed they didn't have one. But then I could have gotten Relic, pop Relic. Okay. It's a good hit for them here. Try to find bolts off the Relic there. Ah! Curse you, Ragavan! I mean, I want to draw my card immediately. So just to be able to kill the Ragavan again. Potentially. Okay. Chandra, another great top deck. The Ragavan has denied us. And they play a 0-1 Tarmogoyf, or 1-2 Tarmogoyf. Then they play Saga to make it a 3-4. Good play, good play. Chandra, Dress to Kill. See if we find a spell to play. Should have phrased that more carefully, I think. Should have phrased that more carefully. That's on me. So they can dash Ragavan, kill Chandra. Goyf becomes a 4-5. My deck's like, I don't know what's wrong. I thought that you wanted to draw a Blood Moon. They found Unholy Heat on top. I don't know if they had like a different card in hand that could deal with Chandra or something, but that's kind of a disaster scenario. This is the best draw of the deck, so we gotta be happy about this. Take the W there. And then I think I'm gonna play the Chandra. Let's try to high roll. Successfully high rolled. Let's go. Also drew the 4th Blood Moon, but I can't complain. Oh yeah, they're probably planning on Red Ping. I think that's what it is. Or what it was. Okay, I'm gonna chump block. Second Tarmogoyf is not good for us, huh? We do have Seasoned Pyromancer tokens this turn. Chandra's still ticking up. They're still locked out of most spells. Should I chump? I think I should just chump block with both tokens here. I do have more relics in the deck. Problem is I can't relic off Chandra because it's not a red spell. But if I do have 2 more relics to just draw. Alright, could also have, you know, more Seasoned Pyromancers. We actually have Wooded Foothills here. I'm going to save this as discard to Spyro. And I guess we're just out of board. Bummer. I think you block with DRC because it can't block anyways. Yeah, but then I throw away my DRC, and then instead of throwing it away, I can use I could have cast Blood Moon for the Surveil there. But I could use Channeler to Surveil and pressure my opponent's life total, and it's just so much more valuable than the 1/1 token. So we're playing against Punt, who usually plays Titan. I don't think I'm going to keep a hand that can't definitely Blood Moon on turn 3. Yeah, I think that holding the Blood Moon to discard to a possible Seasoned Pyromancer was better in that spot than getting the Surveil. But yeah, we like, you know, we could have done that. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna discard or put back Steven's Bolt. I'm gonna look aggressively for Blood Moon here with the Bauble. I think with the Chandra just to kill. Again, I'm operating under the presumption that I'm playing against Amulet Titan, which is usually what Punt plays. I feel like DRC is kind of awkward. I think DRC is as good in this deck as it is in Blue-Red Murktide. You have fetch lands, you have Bauble, you have Heat and Bolts. I mean, maybe it's a little bit better there, because you have like some of the cantrips too, but you also have Planeswalker type and enchantment type in this deck too, which you don't have in Murktide. It's very good here. Yeah, you don't have a sorcery yet, but that's fine, especially when you get those other types. Well, Chandra can help me dig for Blood Moon. No, I mean, you just don't have the cantrip size from Chandra ticks. I mean, if you think... Oh, I meant to deal damage here. If you think DRC is only good in a deck that has cantrips, I just don't, you know, we could just... Don't need to argue all day. But I don't know. I don't know what I expect. There's always like... This happens like every single day. There's like an argument or a take that I don't agree with, and I feel like I sit here and I feel like I give like this long, like 30-second counter argument to a comment like DRC is awkward in this deck, and then I just get, you know, I just never feel like I get a good conversation in these kind of spots. It's just always like, nah, and just like no like counterpoints made at all. I think I'm gonna wait on the Heat here to see if we so you have a second Cavern on top. I might just want to let them draw that. Cavern's probably a pretty awkward draw for them. Isn't it better to wait post-combat for Chandra in case you need the mana to cast the red card? Chandra lets you cast it until end of turn, the spell you hit, so it's better to play it first, just get perfect info about how to sequence the turn if you know you're going to plus it for a card. Cavern on Beast. No land to put into play. I'm not going to bolt here. If I draw another bolt, I'm going to want to save it to kill a Titan. Oh, but I drew the better card, huh?
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind putting up with chat. I don't mean to sound like I'm just complaining too much. Oh, I got, you know, it's just I want to have good conversations, and then so I just am bummed I don't get to sometimes. It's not a big deal. I do love complaining. That's true. Yeah. I think how important explosives are. I think I'll just play one explosives and play two bolts. It's not likely to be that good, but I think having outs to it's probably fine.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
DRC improves with every cantrip. I mean, I don't know how. I don't even think that that's necessarily true entirely. Where it's like, I feel like DRC is the cantrip. You know what I mean? Channeler is the cantrip. So I don't think that you're like really. Like, you do a lot of wheel spinning when you play Channeler, and then you're casting like Serum Visions and Opt, and you're doing a lot of like filtering without impacting the board. But Channeler is like really good when you go Channeler like bolt, you know, Channeler interact with the board like a discard spell, Prismatic Ending, and then smooth out your draws, and you know it's just like I even find that that's not necessarily the case, that it's like just particularly good with cantrips. It's good with, you know, non-creature spells, which this deck is full of, but I feel like cantrip specifically, I don't even know that I entirely agree. Dude, they have 3 grazers? Yeah, only good in decks that run red. The real answer. Could blast zone away the grazer. Thoughts of companion effect on format health. My thoughts are I'm like sick of having this conversation. Because I just had every conversation about Modern over and over again. But it's not the companion mechanic. Please stop pretending like the whole companion mechanic is somehow responsible for the sins of Lurrus and Yorion. Like, I just hate when people like lump together whole mechanics, when the reality is it's like there are plenty of companions that are modern legal that see no play at all and are totally fine. Like, Lutri is fine, Umori is fine. It's not the mechanic as a whole. It's poorly designed cards with the companion mechanic. Just doesn't make any sense to like, let's just ban the whole mechanic. Because like all that does, instead of banning Lurrus and Yorion if you feel like those cards are too good, all that does is like there's one kid at FNM who has a Lutri deck, who loves their Lutri deck, and that now they just can't play it anymore. That's the only thing that you're doing when you I guess I should have Chalice first. That's the only thing you're doing when you ban the whole mechanic, because you know, just for no reason. Yeah, I don't think Yorion's bad for the format either. I think you can make an argument that it is, but I just have a really hard time being convinced that you should just ban the whole mechanic. It just doesn't make any sense. Interesting. So I can still Karn and explosives on X=1, even if I don't find something here. Okay, cool. I also get to do this. Although I guess the explosives X=1 kills my Channeler. Okay, I'll keep this because my opponent has Foundation Breaker. Maybe I'll just no, I want explosives here. Yeah, just like you're gonna ban the Karuga for no reason, or ban the I don't know. But also, like, we've had this conversation 1,000 times because we have every conversation 1,000 times. Yeah, I've been advocating for a Lurrus ban for the longest time now, and you know I don't feel like I need to say it every single day, but Lurrus does too much for too little investment, just like every other card on the ban list. And I'd like to see it not legal at some point. Not in a huge rush to see it not legal, but I'd like to. I know I'm casting Blood Moon, although I guess I could find Blood Moon off Chandra. Needle does not stop Foundation Breaker, no. I could keep a Heat. I think here in Gigantha are egregious next add them for value without really consideration their restrictions. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between saying these cards are poorly designed and saying that these cards should be banned, right? There is a difference, and it's a very clear and distinct difference. The companions that don't generate card advantage and like are really, really below rate just really don't usually end up being that impactful. But again, yeah, but just to make it abundantly clear, painfully clear, Yorion, Luris were horribly designed cards, and then basically every other companion, you know, is I shouldn't say it. Like Karuga's like was horrible for standard too. Karuga was horrible for standard. Zerda is too good for Legacy. Garuda's too good for Legacy, probably under the old rule. The mechanic as a whole was not well designed. Yeah, well, I think that's totally fair to say. The mechanic as a whole was not well designed. But neither was Storm, neither is Dredge, you know? Neither are the Tron lands. Neither are a ton of things that see play in Modern, and you just can't really pick and choose which companions to ban because you don't like them. It's not a good way to like figure out format health and format diversity. Or at the very least, you just can't have a productive conversation with somebody that's only interested in banning cards they don't like, rather than banning cards that are, you know, bad for the format health. Yeah, Delve too. Alright, so I'm going to go Seasoned Pyromancer, discard Chandra, Blood Moon, get Delirium, attack for 3. Why no Obosh? I just wanted to play. I wanted to play Bauble to power up Channeler. I wanted to play Chandra, Torture, Defiance. I was already siding in like explosives in so many of these matchups, and also made you lose Obosh in a lot of your sideboard games. And also, Bauble is not only for Channeler; it's also for Unholy Heat too. You can't really play Heat without Bauble. And it was just kind of a combination of all those factors that made me think it was worth to lose Obosh. Taking 4. I guess we're gonna Blast Zone here, huh? We do lose our Channeler, but it seems pretty good. Think Mox Up will be dangerous? Yeah, I do. Yeah, Mox Up was. There's been so many new crazy good artifacts printed. There's also like artifact lands now. There's a lot more artifact lands. I miss Mox Opal. I always enjoyed playing against Mox Opal decks. I don't know what to say. I remember when Mox Opal was banned, I really thought they should have banned Urza instead. But at this point in the format, like Opal is a really, really scary unban. I just think it should stay on the ban list. Yeah, it would be really good in Hammer Time. It'd be really good in Urza Saga decks. And it's just the kind of card that's always on the verge of being too good. Just, you know, it's a 0 mana card that makes a mana. The only one in the format that does that right now is Chancellor of the Tangle. Or I guess no, not even an Infernal Plunge. That's one mana for 3. Alright, they have to have Unholy Heat for Chandra right now or they'd lose. Opal Band destroyed the oldest deck. That's just not true. Affinity is a playable modern deck right now. That's just not a good argument at all. It's just not true. Alright, let's bring in 4 explosives for 4 Blood Moons. I guess they show me Bedlam Reveler. Maybe I want relics. Play 2 relics over these Chandras. Maybe I'll play just 1/1. Mox Amber is, yeah, that's another card that does it. But yeah, not you know, it doesn't do it on, you know, the first turn of the game usually. I guess it can. 1-drop legendary creature. Or Gristlebrand. Yeah, Affinity. Yeah, the Affinity deck is also playing Affinity cards again. Yeah, Scales is also a playable deck too, which is very much an an evolution of the old Scales deck too. So to say that Mox Opal killed the deck is just not a good argument. In fact, like, I mean, the Affinity's gotten so many new tools in the last few sets, and Affinity was already a dead deck when they banned Mox Opal. Let's not sugarcoat it. Affinity was a dead deck when they banned Mox Opal. It was seeing no play in any form, in any capacity in tournament results, and now it does pop up from time to time, and now like the archetype is somewhat playable. Yeah, you also have a hammer too, which is very, very reminiscent of the deck too. Kill KCI pretty good. Yeah. I mean, KCI is also banned actually, so no. The KCI ban killed KCI. I should probably just pop the relic, right? Try to find my lands. The reason for Mox at the time was KCI? No, KCI was banned before Mox Opal, I think, or at the same time. Yeah, the Mox Opal ban was because there was one deck that played. It wasn't just H1. It was also you have to blame Throne of Eldred to some extent, because there was one deck that was Oko, Once Upon a Time, Mystic Sanctuary, Arkham's Astrolabe, and Mox Opal and Urza. It was crazy. That deck was crazy. My least favorite modern deck of all time was that deck. You just like couldn't play any fair deck to beat it. Any more plans to do the unbanned streams? No, not really. There's really just nothing else that I'm that interested in. It also played Card Lattice. Yeah, that's true. That's another banned card on that deck. I think like Lattice got banned first, and they were like, okay. Oh, this dude Chandra in a Scred Shell? I mean, this is a Scred Shell, right? The only difference between this and a Scred Shell is playing the card Scred, but I'm playing Unholy Heat instead, which is way better. It's like, yeah, it's what's so different about this deck compared to Scred? Yeah, the Lattice ban is really weird. I'm not even sure it was a good call. Alright, I guess I'm, oh, I could try to sack Sunbaked Canyon to draw a land. And Snow Basics, yeah, I mean, that's not a difference, right? Yeah, Scredless, Scred Red, huh? We broke it. I think I'll bolt this. Lets you play bad cards like Cloth. Yeah. Why is Koth like married to playing Scred Red? You know, like that card's just not. Like if Koth is good, if Koth is better than Chandra, we should be playing Koth over Chandra here, right? But I think that Chandra's better. But it's not like the deck would be like a whole different archetype. I'd like to draw a third land, please. There we go. Fair enough. And they bolt me, which implies that they have the Bedlam Reveler, which is scary. So I'll go Fury, and then they'll sack Lava Dart, and then I'll Chandra minus and kill their Reveler, but they've got 3 cards. So we're probably going to game 3. Yes, Tommy, that's why it's there. Chandra into Fury. This is better because the Lava Dart gets to kill Chandra. This is better because Lava Dart gets to kill Chandra if we Chandra first. So we want a Fury first. Yeah, I've been liking this version better. The playing Bauble, so you actually get to play Unholy Heat, which you can't do in the Obosh version, I think. It's just the biggest deal. It's just such a big deal. And then your channelers are a lot better, and you're not losing Obosh in half your matches because you're bringing in explosives. And like it's also like a big problem with this deck has always been that I'm gonna sack this because it's on board. Is that you reveal Obosh and your opponent knows exactly what your deck is, and they can like mulligan to a hand that's like not super vulnerable to Blood Moon, or vulnerable to your deck as a whole. And not being weak to that is definitely a real thing. Lots of Glorybringer versus Stormbreath. Stormbreath is great because of protection from white, which is super relevant. Glorybringer does not seem. I don't know why Glorybringer would be good. So that's my TikTok. I'm not gonna tap this for mana anymore. Really should have done Blessed on their turn. No, they have Dragon Rage's Channeler. We just let them surveil. I know that you play around Swift Spear, but you always let them surveil in that spot if you crack Blessedstone on their turn, and then like they have to have exactly Monastery Swift Spear like number 3 to like take 1 point of damage maybe. I guess that's probably more than 1 point, although we only took 1. But like playing around the surveil I think is more relevant. Obviously didn't work out. Alright, they're dead next turn. Not dead next turn anymore. Is token better than 2x surveil? Maybe. Good question. Maybe we should have double surveilled. I think I like the token more. Just gotta beat him down. Surveil's not necessarily worth a card. Yeah, I could maybe play the E this turn to surveil, but I don't want to spend any mana on it since I need to leave this up for Swift Spear. I guess I could just play it on 1 and I'd leave up the explosives. Okay, we're dead if the last card has any spell. But surely they would have already played it. Maybe not. But we have Blaststones, so we don't need to E on 1. Alright, but I just had a land. 3-1, feeling good. Yeah, we should probably unban Golos and EDH. I'm still, of course, advocating for that. Although I'd rather go back in time and stop it from ever being banned in the first place. Okay, we're playing against Belcher, which I do have needles in the sideboard to I don't know, man. The Belcher's such a bad matchup. Zerda select to play against the Legacy? Yeah. The problem with Zerda is just like your deck has to be all mana because you just always have the payoff for your infinite mana combo. But you know, if Zerda costs 6 mana, I feel like it would be more reasonable, right? We actually played the Allosaurus matchup earlier today, and we got to hardcast Allosaurus Rider, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna play Seasoned Pyromancer for the tokens here. I might just discard the Chandra. We just need to race. Druid's second Fury. Which I guess we can hardcast next turn. Yeah, we hardcast Allosaurus Rider twice. Once in game 2 and once in game 3. Modest to go for the 4 months. And we did win after we lost game 1, got turn 1 Gristle branded though. Is there a reason I don't participate in the Mana Traders tournaments? I don't feel like it. What do you think for look without Luris? It wouldn't be that different, but Luris it's just too good. It just does too much for too little. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be that different. It's just like a bad gameplay card, too powerful. Sick of it. Don't think I've got any outs. GG, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate ya. Would Bauble see anywhere as much play? It would see play as long as Dragon Rage's Channeler and Unholy Heat are legal. Bauble, like, we're playing Bauble in this deck. Yeah, Bauble will still see play without Luris. Chalice isn't good, but if you have Ragavan, sometimes you Chalice on 2, and it still doesn't really do anything. Do you feel like the Fiddlebender deck is competitive? Yeah, I have like a really good win rate with the Fiddlebender deck. I like the deck. What can I say? I like it. I guess let's just keep the Blood Moons. Well, just ban Bauble. The problem with banning Bauble is like Hammer Time still gets to be the best Luris. Like Hammer Time is all of a sudden like Hammer Time's already the best deck. You ban Luris and you don't nerf the Hammer Time deck at all. You nerf every other Luris deck, and then Hammer Time just gets to be Luris gets to be the best in Hammer Time, which is already the best deck in the format. So it doesn't make any sense to me to ban Bauble instead. Then all of a sudden Hammer Time is just like easily the best deck in the format. And it already is. But it's just like the gap widens even more. Okay, we have Needle and a Ragavan. These are the best cards we're going to keep. But it's also true, even with Bauble banned, even with Hammer Time not like, you know, existing in this hypothetical world, Luris still just does too much for too little. It's like, let's not pretend like it doesn't. Opponent's mold to 6. Is Hammer Time really the best deck? It's like it's the deck to beat. Like Hammer Time is the most popular deck in the format, and it's the deck to beat. But decks are beating it. The 4-color deck and the blue-white decks and Reanimator to a lesser extent because that deck's not as popular. They really do prey on Hammer. Jund Saga's pretty good against Hammer too. But Hammer is such a powerful deck that like even when it has bad matchups in the metagame like this, like you still just win a lot of the time because the matchups aren't, you know, just unwinnable, but they're unfavorable. For sure. Nice extra point of damage. Ban Ragavan, ban Saga, ban Luris, and save. I feel like ban Saga's like you got put in a coma at like 2 weeks into Modern Horizons 2 release, and everybody was freaking out. Ah, Urza Saga! And then you're out of the coma, and you're like, okay, did we ban Urza Saga? Did that actually happen? And everybody's like not making eye contact with you because they don't want to tell you just how overhyped Saga was. Saga's a very good card, but it is not the new Hogak, and it is not bannable in Modern either. Isn't the Modern very diverse for that? It is very diverse. I don't know. Listen, I don't like talking about this every day, but the reality is I just don't think there's ever going to be a moment where I don't think Luris should be banned anymore. But I don't think anything needs to happen anytime soon. Okay, I'm going to cast it. Whatever, right? No, wait, no, hold on. I've got a Needle on it. Never mind. I have a Needle on the Belcher, and I can't activate then. Uro is also too good. Uro is really bad gameplay. Don't unban Uro. Yeah, Modern's really fun right now. I don't think a lot needs to change. You know, like if it was on the ballot for me to vote for a Luris ban, I would vote for it every single time. But I'm also like not out here campaigning for it, right? Because it just doesn't really need to happen anytime soon. The card is just not good for the format. But I'm not out here handing out flyers. Please, please ban Luris. Modern is dying. Modern's pretty good right now. Chandra cannot play lands now. I think it can deal the last point of damage though, if I've counted correctly. No, we're sort of one short. I really like the new Chandra. I think the card's great. Oh, I guess I should be playing Relic over Unholy Heat because at least it cycles. Save the treasure by Chandra before attacking. That's true, yeah. It's true. I think this is a concession. Okay, I board in Relic. Cycles and turns off Delirium. So they're going to board in some Hate for Needle, and we're pretty unlikely to win, but, you know, we took a game off of our worst matchup. So what if we kept this hand, because the clock is pretty quick, we're pretty likely to have Delirium, fast on the Channeler, we could maybe surveil into a Needle, but my opponent has mulled a 6, and maybe they have, like, a somewhat slow draw, or a slow hand that can, like, answer a Needle, and we just kill them. I think we should keep this. I don't know if this is a snap keep just because our deck is like just too slow to like Goldfish against Belcher usually, but they've mulled to 5, so I think I like keeping this hand. How are humans feeling? I keep meaning to play. Maybe I'll do some play testing of humans tonight, although I've got some like Channel Fireball obligations to do tonight. So maybe I don't have time. I could also cast Blood Moon. How do you feel about casting Blood Moon? It cuts them off of Recross the Paths. It might cut them off of like Answers to Needle too. It's probably worth it. Oh, I needed to correct this Wooded Foothills though. That was a big mistake. We'll probably be okay, but just like, yeah, getting that first type was pretty important. Belcher does play Force of Vigor, yeah. So if I Bauble and see Force of Vigor over there... They have a Goblin Char Belcher. Well, okay. No decision here, huh? Alright, Delirium anyways, despite Chandler being awkward, huh? They didn't Force of Vigor me. I'm gonna bolt on upkeep, just try to find something more relevant to do this turn. That counts. Hit them for 5, down to 8, and then I'm 1 point short of lethal next turn if I don't draw anything. So I guess I'll cast this Fury instead, huh? Which makes me have lethal. They didn't have Force of Vigor last turn, or at the very least they didn't cast it. Not casting it this turn. Well, I think we beat the unwinnable matchup. Oh no, don't offensive GG's me. No, don't. I think they're just conceding again. Okay, just flash back the Striker Rich. Cool. 4-1. What did we lose to? We lost to Jund Saga. That's probably to be expected. This version felt a lot better. Just like, you know, also like the needles like give you a chance against Belcher. I know it's overcompensating a lot, but Belcher's popular. Belcher is your worst matchup, so overcompensating makes sense, right? A lot of or 2 4-1s today. No trophies today. I'll be playing a little bit off stream tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to catch back up a little bit because I don't want to be just super far behind when Vegas starts. But we've also got a long race.